Hi all. Today I am going to discuss a topic algorithms used in medical image transmission over the network. Before moving to the algorithms, I will explain which technique is used for medical image transmission. We all know the rapid growth of network multimedia system. To protect copyright ownership of multimedia objects, one technology has been developed. This technology is called combined cryptography and digital image watermarking. Then, what is digital image watermarking? It is a proposed method for protecting the ownership of digitalized data. In this method, the watermark signal is embedded into our source image to protect the digital images from the illegal manipulation. This method is also used as a tool for discovering the unauthorized data reuse, and it is also for copyright protection. Then, different types of watermarking methods are used according to the needs. Some of them are visible watermark, invisible watermark, robust watermark, fragile watermark, semi-fragile watermark, invisible robust watermark, invisible fragile watermark, etc. In medical image transmission, we use invisible robust watermark because the watermark is embedded at the pixel level, which are perceptually not determined. So, it can be recovered only with the appropriate decoding process. This is the main advantage of this method. Okay, now you all get the overview of this technique. So, now we can discuss the algorithms. In this technique, we use three algorithms. For watermarking technique, we use the combination of DWT and DCT algorithm, and cryptographic method, we use ECDH algorithm. Commonly, DCT and DWT are separately used for watermarking, and AES, DES are RSA algorithm for cryptographic technique. So our proposed system provides good efficiency compared with other techniques because the combination of DWT and DCT algorithms gives good PSNR value compared with other. I will later explain the word PSNR. We also use the public key cryptographic technique. It provides more security compared with others. Now, I will explain the working of this technique. First, select the image that we want to transmit it through the network. Then perform the combined DWT and DCT algorithm for watermarking. Here we also embedded some text data such as patient's details, hospital names, doctor's ID, etc. After we applying the ECDH algorithm for encryption with public key and transfer to the receiver. Then the receiver receives the image and decrypt the image using the private key and can extract the text data also. Finally, we calculate the integrity of the received image using the PSNR value. Here is the flowchart of working. First, we select the medical image that we want to transmit. Then, we perform the combined DWT and DCT algorithm for watermarking. We also add the text data such as patient's detail, hospital name, etc. to that image. Then, we encrypt that image using the cryptographic method. In cryptographic method, the public key is used for encryption. Then After encrypting that image is sent to the receiver. The receiver can decrypt the image using the private key, and the receiver can also extract the data that is embedded in that image. Finally, we check the integrity of the image. This is the overview of working. Before moving to the combined DCT and DWT algorithm, we have to know about the DCT transform and the DWT transform, because the algorithm is working based on this transform. DCT transform. The full form of DCT is discrete cosine transform. In this technique, a signal is converted into elementary frequency component. To represent an image has a sum of the sinoids of varying magnitude and frequencies. An input image X has DCT coefficient for the transformed output image Y. This can be calculated using the equation 1. In this equation, X is the input image with n into m pixels, and X of mn is the intensity of the image. Y of uv is the DCT coefficient in row u and column v of the DCT matrix. Here is the equation. Y of uv is equal to root of 2 by m into root of 2 by n alpha u into alpha v into cosine of 2m plus 1 into u phi by whole by 2m into the cosine of 2n plus 1 into v phi by whole by 2n. The value of alpha v and alpha u are changed according to the value of u and v. If the u value is 0, then the alpha u is put as 1 by root 2. And if the value of v is from 1 to n minus 1, then we can put the alpha u as 1. Similarly, the alpha v is also changed according to the value of u and v. If the value of u is 0, then alpha v is put as 1 by root 2, and the value of v is from 1 to n minus 1, then the alpha value is put as 1. We can also reconstruct the image by applying inverse DCT operation or IDCT operation. This is done using the equation 2. X of mn is equal to root of 2 by m root of 2 by n summation of u is equal to 0 to m minus 1 summation of v is equal to 0 to n minus 1 alpha u into alpha v into y of y of uv into cosine of 2m plus 1 into u phi the whole by 2m into the cosine of 2n plus 1 into u v phi by the whole 2n. Actually, the block-based DCT transform the segments and image non-overlapping blocks and applies the DCT to each block. So, it will result in 3 frequency subband: low frequency subband, mid frequency subband and high frequency subband. DCT is actually based on 2 facts. The first fact is that much of the signal energy is lie at free low frequency subband. This is the actually the portion which contain the most important visual part of our image. The second is that the high frequency component of the image. They are usually removed through the compression or noise attack. So, the watermark is therefore embedded by modifying the coefficient of middle frequency subband. So, we can so the visibility of the image will not be affected, and the watermark will not be removed by compression. We know we already tell about what is watermark. I will explain once more. The watermark can be a string of bits representing a text or owner's name or an image, means image type, trademark or logo. Now DCT transform. In this transform, we take the wavelets in the form of analogues to sines and cosines in Fourier analysis. This is used as Bessel function for representing the signals. For 2D image, apply the DWT corresponding to processing the image by 2D filters in each dimension. The filters divide the input image into four non-overlapping multi-resolution subbands. They are LL1, LH1, HL1, HH1. The subband LL1 represent the core scale DWT coefficient, and the subband LH1, HL1 and HH1 represent the fine scale of DWT coefficient. To obtain the next Course scale, the subband LL1 is further processed until the final scale N is reached. When N is reached, we will have 3n plus 1 subbands consist of multi-resolution subbands LLN and LHX, HLX and HHX, where X ranges from 1 to N. If the DWT coefficient is modified, only the region to that coefficient will be modified. High frequency subband HHX includes the edge and texture of the image that cannot be identified by our human eye. So, the DWT based watermarking algorithm embed the watermark in the middle frequency subband LHX and HLX. Now moving to the combined DCT DWT algorithm. This is the flowchart of combined DWT DCT watermarking embedding procedure. In this, we can see the original image, that is our host image. First, we apply 2 levels of DWT to that image. First, our hosted image is decomposed into 4 non-overlapping multi-resolution subbands LL1, HL1, LH1 and HH1. I already shown the figure of some multi-resolution subbands in figure A and B. Then we again apply DWT to subband HL1 to get 4 smaller subband and HL2 subband, or apply DWT to subband HH1 to get 4 smaller subband and choose HH2. That is, first we apply first level of DWT decomposition. In that, our image is first divided into 4 non-overlapping subbands, that is LL1, HL1, LH1 and HH1. Then we again do the same process to subband HL1 to get 4 smaller subbands. And we get HL2 subband, or we can apply second DW to HH1 to get 4 smaller subbands, and we choose HH2 has subbands. Then we divide the subband HL2 or HH2 into 4 blocks. After that, we apply the DCT to each block in the chosen subband. We can choose either HL2 or HH2 by applying the 2 level of DWT. After that, we will apply the DCT to the chosen subbands. Then we perform the grayscale watermark image into a vector of 0 and 1. That is watermark formation. Then from that, generate 2 uncorrelated pseudo-random sequences. One sequence is embedded the watermark bit 0, another 2 embed the watermark bit 1. Now we have to check that the number of elements in each of the 2 pseudo-random sequence must be equal to the number of midband elements of the DCT formed DWT subbands. Then embedding the two pseudo-random sequence Pn0 and Pn1 with a gain factor in the DCT transformed 4x4 of the selected DWT subband of the image. The embedding is take place only at the mid DCT coefficient. If X as the matrix of the midband, the coefficient of the DCT transform blocks the watermark bit is 0. Then the X bar is equal to X plus Pn of 0. Otherwise, the bit is 1. The X bar is equal to Pn plus Pn of 1. Then we can apply the inverse of DCT algorithm to each block after the midband coefficient. Then we apply the inverse DWT on the DWT transformed host image. Then we get the watermarked image. This is the flowchart of DWT DCT watermark embedding procedure. I already tell about this algorithm using that flowchart. This is the step of DWT DCT algorithm. Step 1. Apply DWT to decompose the cover host image into 4 non-overlapping multi-resolution subbands. That is, our image is divided into 4 multi-resolution subbands. Then we apply 2 level of DWT to the subbands. First one, we can apply DWT to HL1 to get 4 smaller subbands, and we can choose from that HL2 has the subband. Otherwise, we can apply the second level of DWT to HH1 to get the another 4 smaller subbands and choose the HH2 has the subband. Then we divide the subband HL2 or HH2 into 4 blocks. After that, we apply DCT to each block in the chosen subband. That may be HL2 or HH2. Then the fifth step is reformulate the grayscale watermark image into a vector of 0 and 1. This is for formulating the watermark image. Continuing sixth step, after generating watermark, generate 2 uncorrelated pseudo-random sequences. One sequence is used to embed the watermark of bit 0 and the another is used to embed the watermark bit of 1. If the watermark bit is 0, we represent as Pn0. If the watermark bit is 1, we represent as Pn1. Now I already told that the number of elements in each of 2 pseudo-random sequence must be equal to the number of midbands elements of the DCT transformed DWT subbands. That must be satisfied. Then the seventh step is embed the 2 pseudo-random sequence Pn0 or Pn0 and Pn1 with a gain factor in the DCT transformed 4 blocks of the selected DWT subband of the host image. Actually, the embedding is not applied to the all coefficient of DCT blocks. It is only to the mid band DCT coefficient. If we donate X as the matrix of the midband coefficient of the DCT transformed block, the embedding is done as follows. That is, if the watermark bit is 0, then the X bar is equal to X plus Pn of 0. Otherwise, the watermark is 1, then X bar is equal to X plus Pn1. 8. To embedding the watermark bits, we have to apply the inverse DCT to each block after its midband coefficient. Then step 9. Apply the inverse DWT on the DWT transform image, including the modified subband to produce the watermark host image. The combined DWT algorithm is also called as blind watermarking algorithm. Thus, because the original host image is not required to extract the watermark. This is an algorithm for the DWT DCT watermark extraction procedure. This is the reverse of DWT DCT combined watermark procedure. From this we can see the how to extract the watermark. We apply the two-level DWT to the watermarked image, then apply the DCT. Again, the watermark, then watermark formulation goes happen. Then from that we get two pseudo-random sequence. Then it's go to the extraction algorithm, and finally we get the extracted watermark. This is the extraction of watermark image algorithm. This algorithm is similar to watermark embedding procedure. First step is same as watermark embedding procedure. Step 1. Apply DWT. Decompose the watermark image into 4 non-overlapping multi-resolution subbands LL1, HL1, LH1 and HH1. Step 2 is apply DWT to the HL1 to get the smaller subband and choose the subband as HL2. Or we can apply DWT to HH1 subband to get the another 4 smaller subbands and choose the HH2 as the subbands. That we already seen in figure 2.A and B. Then step 3, divide the subband HL1, HL2 or HS2 into 4 into 4 blocks. Then again apply DCT to each block in the chosen subband. What we choose from the above step, DCT is applied to each block that is chosen subbands, and extract the mid-band coefficient of each DCT transformed blocks. Then step 5, regenerate the two pseudo-random sequences. We already regenerate pseudo-random sequence in watermark procedure. The same method is used here to regenerate. In sixth step, for each block in the subband HL2 or HH2, calculate the correlation between the midband coefficient and two generated pseudo-random sequence. If the correlation with the Pn0 was higher than the correlation with Pn1, then the extracted watermark bit is considered as 0. Otherwise, the extracted watermark is considered as 1. Then step 7, reconstruct the watermark using the extracted watermark bits and compute the similarities between the original and extracted watermarks. Now we can move to the performance of the combined DWT-DCT algorithm. This is an image of that. From this image we can see the performance. This is our original image. This is the DWT applied image. Only DWT is applied to the HL2 subband. This is the combined DWT DCT application to the HL2 image subband. When DWT is only applied to the HH2 and the combined application of DWT DCT to HH2. When comparing the PSNR value between these images, we can see that the highest PSNR value is for combined DWT DCT algorithm. The performance of DWT DCT algorithm can be evaluated by checking two values. They are imperceptibility and robustness. Imperceptibility means the perceived quality of the host image should not be distorted by the presence of watermark. PSNR is used to measure this quantity of the watermark image. The full form of PSNR is peak signal to noise ratio. PSNR is measured as decibel. Then the robustness. Robustness means the immunity of the watermark against the attempts to remove or degrade. The correlation factor is used to measure the similarity between the original watermark image and the watermark extracted from the attacked image. The correlation coefficient value is about 0.75 or above is considered acceptable. Now, the third algorithm used in the combined method is ECDH algorithm. The full form of ECDH is elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman algorithm. This algorithm is used for cryptographic encryption and decryption. This is actually a key agreement protocol. So this protocol allows two parties having a elliptic curve public private key pair. This key pair can establish a shared secret over the insecure channel. So this shared secret may be directly used as a key or to derive another key. The key or derived key can be used to encrypt the subsequent communication using a symmetric key cipher. It is actually a variant of the Diffie-Hellman protocol using the elliptic curve cryptography. Then, how this protocol is working? Suppose the Alice want to establish a shared key with the Bob, then the channel available for them may be eavesdropped by third party. Then they will do initially take the domain parameters. Then each party having a elliptic curve pair key consists of a private key D that is randomly chosen from integer 1 to n minus 1 and a public key is represented by a point Q. Q is equal to D into G. Let's consider Alice private key is equal to dA into QA, and Bob's key pair is equal to dQ into dB into QB. Then each party must know the public key of other party to execute the protocol. If the Alice and Bob compute the point xk and yk, the Alice get has dA into QB and Bob get has dB into QA. Here the xk is the shared key. In the ECDH derive a symmetric key from the SK using some hash-based derivation function. The shared key calculated by both parties is equal because dA into dBq is equal to dB dot dA dot G is equal to dB dot QA. This is how compute xk and yk by Alice and by Bob. The shared key is derived xk using the hash-based key derivation function. Then they calculated shared key must be equal because dA dot QB equal to dA dot dB dot G is equal to dB dot dA dot G is equal to dB dot QA. So the only information that Alice initially exposed is her public key only. So now no party including Alice can determine Alice's private key unless can solve the elliptic curve discrete algorithm problem. No party other than Alice or Bob can compute the shared key. Okay, we saw the three algorithms used in the combined cryptography and DWT-DCT algorithm techniques used for medical image transmission over the network. In DWT-DCT algorithm, the watermark was done by the application of DCT on the selected DWT subbands that we were already seeing in some slides. The combination of two transforms improved the watermarking performance when compared to the DWT only watermarking. This will lead to the increased PSNR value. Then the another algorithms used in this is Diffie-Hellman algorithm. The proposed system uses an elliptic curve with Diffie-Hellman algorithm for encryption and decryption of data to improve the data security in network. This algorithm reduces the complexity and the encrypted data efficiency. The performance of ECDH is calculated using encryption time, decryption time, computation overhead and the generation timer. The proposed ECDH algorithm has approximate 70% better performance compared with the another methods such as RSA, MRSA, MRSAC algorithm. So this method is more efficient compared with other methods. Thank you.